Your eyes for just a moment, my dear, and imagine that you're standing on top of a mountain at the very edge of dawn. The world stretches out below you, wrapped in soft mist like a blanket. But up here where you stand, the air is so clear, so pure, you can almost taste the stars as they fade into morning light. Everything is quiet, perfectly, beautifully quiet. And yet you can feel it, that hum of life, that pulse of something greater moving through everything. The mountain doesn't shout about its height. It simply stands, steady, unmovable, certain. That, my love, is who you are at your core. That is the truth of your being when you strip away the noise, the explanations, the constant need to be understood. You are the mountain. You don't need to convince the valley of your presence. You simply are. You see, true transformation doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes the most profound changes happen in the quiet, in the hidden, in the spaces between words. Think of the seed. It doesn't grow on the surface where everyone can watch. It withdraws into the dark earth. It surrenders to the soil. And there, in that sacred darkness, it becomes something entirely new. The seed doesn't explain itself to the ground. It doesn't justify its process. It simply transforms. The butterfly, too, seals itself away before it learns to fly. Isn't that beautiful? The cocoon is not a prison. It's a sanctuary. It's where the impossible becomes possible, where crawling becomes soaring. Your withdrawal, my dear, is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's the recognition that some things are too sacred to perform, too precious to explain. While the world demands to see every step, you can choose to transform in private. And when you emerge, oh, when you emerge, they will know without you saying a single word. Now breathe with me for a moment. Feel your chest rise and fall. Notice how effortless it is. Your body knows exactly what to do. You don't have to think about it, force it, or explain it. It simply flows. This is alignment, beloved. This is what happens when you stop trying to control every outcome and instead trust the natural intelligence moving through you. The wise gardener doesn't pull on the flowers to make them grow faster. She tends the soil. She waters the roots. She trusts the timing. When you align yourself with truth, your truth, not theirs, life begins to flow like that river you've always heard about, the one that doesn't struggle to reach the ocean. It simply moves, and doors you never even knew existed begin to open. Opportunities find you because your energy is no longer scattered in 1,000 directions trying to prove yourself worthy. Say this with me now softly. I align with divine timing. I trust the rhythm of my unfolding. Say it again. Feel how those words settle into your bones. This is not just affirmation. This is remembering. This is coming home to what you've always known. Here's something that will set you free, my love. Not everything deserves your response. Not every comment requires your correction. Not every criticism needs your defense. Sometimes, and this is so powerful, your silence is the most eloquent thing you can offer. When you refuse to engage with chaos, when you simply smile and walk away, you reveal something profound. You show that you no longer need external agreement to know who you are. That certainty, that quiet knowing, is magnetic. People feel it even if they can't name it. Your peace becomes the message. And isn't that beautiful? You don't have to say a word. Your energy speaks volumes. Let me ask you something gentle but important. Where in your life are you still performing? Where are you exhausting yourself trying to be seen as good enough, smart enough, worthy enough? Maybe it's in your relationships, constantly bending to keep the peace. Maybe it's at work, saying yes when your whole body screams no. Maybe it's in how you dress, how you speak, how carefully you curate every moment to avoid judgment. But here's the truth, beloved. The moment you stop performing, you reclaim your life. You reclaim your energy. You reclaim you. Because authentic presence doesn't need a stage. It doesn't need applause. It simply is. So breathe into this truth. I release the need to perform. My authentic presence is enough. Say it slowly. Let it wash over you like warm water. Feel how freeing that is. You are enough, right here, right now, exactly as you are. Your attention, my dear, is the most precious thing you own, more precious than money, more valuable than time, because money can be earned again, time can be filled again, but attention, once you spend it, is gone forever. Where you place your focus determines what grows in your life. Energy flows where attention goes. Have you noticed that? What you focus on expands. What you complain about multiplies. What you bless blossoms. It's the oldest law in the universe, and it's always working, always. So guard your attention like the sacred temple it is. Not every conversation deserves your mental space. Not every drama deserves your emotional investment. You have permission, oh sweet permission, to withdraw your focus from anything that drains you. Whisper this to yourself. I invest my attention wisely in what serves my highest good. Feel how empowering that is. You're not being selfish. You're being sovereign. You're choosing yourself. And that choice changes everything. There's a type of knowing that lives beyond language. It's the deep certainty that comes when you've walked through your own fire and emerged with truth in your hands. This knowing doesn't shout, it doesn't argue, it doesn't defend. It simply radiates. You felt it before, haven't you? That moment when you just knew something so completely that explaining it would only diminish it. That's what I'm talking about. That's the certainty that needs no words. When you live from this place, people feel your truth even when you're silent. Your presence becomes your testimony. The way you carry yourself, the peace in your eyes, the ease in your voice, it all speaks louder than any explanation ever could. Because real power, my love, never shouts. It simply is. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I met a woman, an elder, who had this remarkable quality about her. She spoke very little, and yet people traveled from miles away just to sit in her presence. One day, a young person asked her, "Why do you say so little? Don't you want people to know your wisdom?" The elder smiled, oh, such a gentle smile, and she said, I used to explain myself constantly. Every thought, every choice, every feeling. I exhausted everyone, including myself. Then one day, she continued, I realized something liberating. Those who are meant to understand me will feel my truth without explanation, and those who aren't ready will misinterpret my words no matter how carefully I choose them. So I stopped explaining, and that's when the right people finally started arriving. My dear, that wisdom is available to you right now. You don't have to wait for permission to be quiet. You can choose it today, this moment, right here. The winter tree doesn't apologize for being bare. It doesn't explain why its branches are empty. It simply knows its season. The spring river doesn't announce that it's flowing. It doesn't send invitations to witness its journey. It just moves gracefully, inevitably, toward its destination. You, beloved, are part of these same natural rhythms. You are woven into the same sacred cycles. Some seasons in your life call for visibility, for reaching out, for engagement, and some, like now perhaps, call for retreat, for turning inward, for rest. Honor where you are without justification. You don't owe anyone an explanation for needing quiet. You don't owe anyone a performance of constant growth. Sometimes the most growth happens in the stillness, where no one can see. Say this gently: I honor my season. I trust my natural rhythm, and feel how your body relaxes. Feel how right that feels, because it is right. It's always been right. There's a healing that happens only in quiet, my love. There are wounds that words cannot reach, pains that explanations cannot touch. But silence, oh, silence can soothe them. Silence is not the absence of something. It's the presence of healing itself. When you give yourself permission to simply be quiet, to stop talking about it, analyzing it, processing it out loud, something miraculous happens. Your nervous system begins to reset. Your spirit remembers how to breathe. Your heart recalls its own innate wisdom. You don't have to understand every feeling. You don't have to solve every problem. Sometimes you just need to sit with yourself in gentle, compassionate silence and let the medicine work. Here's something beautiful. True honesty isn't about explaining every thought that crosses your mind. It's about living in integrity with yourself. You can be deeply truthful without being verbose. You can be authentic without being an open book to everyone. Your life is your statement, beloved. How you treat yourself, how you honor your own boundaries, how you walk through this world with kindness in your heart and clarity in your choices. This is your truth speaking. This is your honesty in action. You don't need to narrate every step. You just need to walk your path with integrity. The rest takes care of itself. You were born with an internal navigation system more accurate than any map ever created. It's called intuition. But here's the thing, my dear. It only speaks in whispers, and whispers require silence to hear. The more you quiet the external noise, the opinions, the shoulds, the constant commentary, the louder your inner guidance becomes. It's always been there, always, waiting patiently for you to listen. Trust it, even when it doesn't make logical sense, even when others question it. Your intuition knows things your mind hasn't figured out yet. It sees around corners. It knows the way home. Say this now with conviction. I trust my inner compass. It guides me perfectly.